This right here is a 2016 Nissan PathFinder, and now you can see in this car, the interior is absolutely phenomenal for the car and the age. The only thing that was keeping it looking outdated was this old junk interior, which we have just fixed with this wide big screen with this 12.5-inch wireless CarPlay and Android Auto screen. Now let's have a comparison of the old one to the new one. Now when you're driving a car every day, you do need some modern maps. Now you can see the old maps were really outdated, and then this new map with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Waze, Apple Map, Google Map, everything on there is always up to date, and these never go outdated. As you know, they're always live and current. So if you guys got a PathFinder for yourself, you guys are in for a treat. Let me show you how easy it is to do one of these install as a DIY. You can buy the kit with the link in the description below. This is the 12.3-inch Ford Nissan PathFinder. So without any further delay, let's get started into another episode of DIY Made Easy. Now for your first bit out here, you see this plastic panel around here. This is what you have to remove. So you can just get a pry tool, go from underneath, pop this open. Now don't go too hard on one side. You don't want to damage the plastic that's coming out, as well as the climate panel underneath, because you're prying against that. So slowly make your way, and this will come out of place. You can go ahead and undo this one Phillips head screw, and that will allow for your climate panel to pop out. Now once you undo that Phillips head screw, you can go ahead and pop the climate panel back out. There will be a few connections behind. Go ahead and undo those connections, and then you can put the panel onto the side. Now after you remove that climate panel around there, there's two more Phillips heads here. So one here, one on the other side. Go ahead and undo them, and this whole climate panel can pop out. Now you can see the radio is behind there. The radio doesn't come out with the front climate panel. So once you remove that, there will be more screws before we can actually take the radio out. Now when you're removing this front panel of the radio, make sure you keep some nice microfiber underneath. That way when you pop this radio clip out, it's not going to scratch against any of the surface in the car. There are going to be a few clips behind, so when you do pop it out, you will have to undo them before you can let the fascia on the side. Now with the front fascia out from the radio, next part is removing the AC vent from here. There's two Phillips heads, one on the left side, one on the right side. Once you've undone, you want to get your pry tool, pry it from the top to release some of the pressure from the clips behind. Once you've released the pressure, you can pull this out of place, and this will reveal this metal bracket that we have to remove next. Now once you've removed the AC ducts, most of the things have come out. The next two parts is to actually remove the radio, the bracket, and the screen. Now the order it has to come out is the bracket needs to come out first. Then you can remove the screen and then the radio. It's quite easy. 4 bolts, 4 Phillips head for your bracket here. You'll remove that, and we'll pop the screen out. Once the screen is out, unplug the things from behind and do the same with the radio. Now once you got all of the plugs out for your screen, there's only a few plugs that you need to unplug from behind the radio. You don't need to take the radio out all the way. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you the wiring that comes in a kit, and then I'll show you where it's going to go into this radio. Now this right here is the power wiring that you get with our kit. Now what you want to do is look at the size of the plug. Now one plug here, this is your camera plug. This will plug straight in behind where the actual screen came out from. The other plug right here might also go in there. I'm wrong. Now these two, you have to find the plugs underneath behind the radio that will go in there. Same for your radio antenna, and for the other information as well that will pick up your CAN bus. So go ahead and find the plug that match this one. Now they can only be one size, and you can see we've put some nice tape here so it doesn't rattle. So go ahead and do that. Route all the wires up here where we're going to plug it into the screen. Now before plugging anything in, you know what we have to do here at Western Auto Custom. We make sure all of the wiring is always neat. So what we're going to do is go ahead and start taping everything up. So let's go ahead and do that. Now as you can see, once everything has been taped up, everything looks a million times better. Now you'll see right here, I've left this pink plug out here that says amp C. Now what this one is your amp controller, your amp trigger. Now you can go ahead and connect it to the red wire here if you do not have audio when you plug this thing in. Even if you do have audio and you just leave it on there, it's not going to make any difference. Now you don't really have to do that if you don't have an amp in the car. But what I'm going to do in my case is to just avoid any kind of drama or confusion, make it more uniform for the installation guide. I'm going to wire these up together anyways. So we can go ahead and tap this on there, solder it on, and tape it on. All right, that amp wire is all connected into our accessory power. Let's go ahead and start finding plug that will plug into our male ends. This is your QABS, so this is your main power connector. I'm gonna find one with a big ground point. so most likely going to be, let's see if it fits, and that was wrong. All right, let's try on the other one. Does it fit? And it was wrong. So this can go back into place. This is the easiest way to find which wire will go in where. So everything only goes in one way except that camera plug that you're plugged in on top. You can see those two big pins on either side. That's our QABS. It's always like that. Just plug that one in there. Now what I might try to do is go behind the fascia here, the factory fascia. That way all the wiring can stay nice and tidy when we put the things back in, and nothing would get pinched. It's part one. To your sound outputs. Connecting here. There you go, connects up there. Third one, aerial. Okay, so let's go ahead now and look for the aerial. I found my aerial there. Let's just go ahead and unplug that. There's the aerial connected. And that to me looks like almost all of them. Oh, we got one more plug here. Let's find where this will go. I can see similar sized, so safe to say we'll plug in there. Let's plug it in. Alright, so now before you push the radio back in spot, what you want to try and do is to pull all of this wiring out as you're pushing the radio back in. Very important. Take a note of that. As you're pushing the radio back in spot, slowly keep pulling this wiring up. You don't want it to get stuck in there. All right, so the next part for us would be to plug in the screws back on, two in the bottom, two up top here to hold the radio back in. And you can go ahead and mount the fascia with this one plug here going back in, and the fascia can go back on for the front. And then we can start plugging everything behind our screen just to test. And the final bit you have to do before putting your fascia back in is to have your wires such as your USB, SIM card tray and everything running to your desired location. Plug in your microphone into the harness where the SIM card slot is, and tape everything up to make it look nice and even throughout the back. Before getting my screen in, I'm mounting the SIM card tray as well as a spare USB lead in an accessible position right in the footwell, followed by plugging all the cables behind the new screen. Everything only goes in one way. Once all of the cables are plugged in, then the screen can go back in place and we are ready for testing. Alright, so as you guys saw in the last clip, everything has gone back together. Now it's time to test it, so let's go ahead and start the car. Let's pray that the unit works, because if the unit doesn't work, the entire thing has to come back out. Car started. The unit's turned on. That's a very good sign to begin with. Now let's go ahead and try some audio. We've got audio. That's very good. Now let's try reversing camera, and we have the reversing camera as well. Would you believe that? Everything working there, as you can see. Next song, previous song, calls. Okay, so what I'm gonna do at this point is go ahead and clean this whole section up. Once everything is cleaned up, then I'll show you guys how to set up this infotainment. Alright, so once you've got the system booted up, you want to go into the Bluetooth, click on the settings here, change the name to whatever you want to set it to, and click this button here. It will say update success. That way you have the whole thing set up. Now let's go out of there. Next part is setting up your CarPlay, which is this link one here. So click on link, click on the setting. You can either use 2.4 or 5G. See what works better for your phone. Usually 5G is better in most of the cases, but you can have one working better than the other. Click on the frame rate to be high and automatic connection on. That way every time you get in the car, you don't have to physically open it up. It will all pop up by itself. You need to click on car settings and you go into these settings here. Now I've already set most of this up. In the sound section, what I've also done is change my mic gain to 5 and my subwoofer to 5. At the same time, turn my amp on. This car does have an amp. You can go to the next page. In here, you can see all of the other settings have been set by itself. Fan is always working, all of that, don't need to worry about any of that. One thing I did change is go to this setting here, pressing 3368, select your back mic switch to be on. This way you can use the HD mic which we have mounted here on our A pillar with a pop filter on it. That way the call quality is absolutely fantastic. Now let's go here, logo. You can set a lot of different views here. Now in the original car agreement, you can see all the different settings that you would have. Reverse parking, I'm going turn this off because the car already has one from factory. So you see I've turned the reverse parking line. So you already get one with the car, so you don't want to worry about that. Go back into park. Got door on or off. I hate that function. Door position is right. Aircon info can be on there. Don't really care. Let's test stuff. Climate control, everything coming up. Change of temperature on the left to left, right to right, that's all good. See the volume, the button's working, same here. Let's see if this button in the back is still working. The camera button now only functions from the screen, which is okay. Setting will take you into settings. So most of these buttons still continue to work. Hazards working, steering control working, almost absolutely everything is working. Then once you're comfortable with the install, you can go ahead and peel this panel here, get it out, and that looks fantastic. Now let me quickly go ahead and pair up my phone. Just click into Bluetooth here, go into the pairing mode, which is this device here. On your phone, go into settings, Bluetooth, click search there. Should come up with my phone. I'll have the device come up there, one or the other. PathFinder, I found it. And the path that you have set it to is 0000. So let me just quickly go ahead and put that in. Now we're into CarPlay. Now you can see it's super smooth, doesn't lag whatsoever. You know, with CarPlay you get modern maps, Spotify, call list, the whole lot is on here. Nothing for you to worry about. You can go ahead and toggle through different things. Click here, go home screen, and check in the SIM card. We've mounted that in our passenger side footwell, so you can go into apps and access all your apps like YouTube, Netflix, anything you want to watch, you can watch it on this screen. Really nice, quick and fast system. Now if you guys got any question in regards to this install, just leave us a comment down below, or just simply fill out the contact form on www.westernautocustoms.com.au. or if you're in Australia and want this done professionally, just simply call us on 0475 469 577 to see how we can help you with your car. That's gonna be it for us in this video, and we'll see you in another episode. Peace.